Right.
And I left that to start my own firm because I hoped to be able to represent people like you.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And so my first year, I made $30,000.
Oh.
I have 3 kids in private school. You know?
Yeah.
So I've been actually really successful, and I'm kind of back up to where I was when I started, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, close to what I left, except that I have so much debt from the starting phase. You know how it is when you start a business.
I get you.
So we scrape by, and we get to the point where, we don't deposit our checks in the bank because it's going to get overdrawn and we got to have cash for. That's what happens when you run a small business. We get in those situations.
I know.
When I made the decision, to keep pushing hard for you, that was a real decision. I turned down cash. I'll tell you, I've got about a $2 or $3 million net worth, but it's all in companies that I do the work for. But it's not liquid. It's not liquid.
I got you. I got you.
It's a company that start up, and that might be 2-3 years. But if they do well, I'll have $100 million in the next 5 years.
I got you.
In the meantime, I got to beg Comcast, to keep my internet service on. You know what I mean? So the toughest things, one of the toughest things, and I'm not trying to lecture because this is common in every lawsuit, just about every single lawsuit. The other side's a dick, and you have your perspective, you have your reasons for doing what you did, and compromise never feels good. And when you compromise, you feel like you've lost. You know what I mean? You feel like you're admitting something when you settle, and the settlement is always not as much as you wanted or more than you wanted to give, or, it always feels like that. No matter what the case is. This kind of case is uniquely personal, but when I represent somebody who, was called the N-word and did all the stuff at work, I look at it and say, here's the thing about the legal system. The legal system, I guarantee you, because I've been around the block, I've brought lawsuits, I've defended lawsuits, I've represented witnesses, I've gone to trials, and what I'm trying to say, Yep, is that the release that you seek, your day in court, and that sense that I was able to say what I had to say, it's a myth. It's a mirage.
You know what, though?
It never happened.
You know what?
No one comes out of court feeling like they've been able to have their day in court. And what I can achieve for you, I'm begging. I mean, seriously, I don't do this. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to take this deal. Okay. Because if you don't, I feel like I've completely failed you, and I've completely wasted my time. Because I've really achieved something fantastic for you. And if you can step back and see it, it's there. And
Can I say something?
I'm asking if there's one. If it has to be, if you have to feel like you're doing it as a favor to me personally, I'm begging you to do it. I'm begging.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing fine. I'm really busy. We're launching 2 new companies in the next month, and I got another. Like a pretty high profile there, just in case. That's going to be taking up a lot of my time. Going to trial probably next month.
Wow, you're going to go to trial. How often do you go to trial?
You know what? I've actually never taken a case through to trial. Everything settles. I participated in trials. Not only participated in the sense of, helped out, provide documents to the other lawyers that are handling the trial, and I've done all kinds of kind of trial training, through my firm and through law school. I took this course. It was a full-year course with a federal judge who was the professor, where we just, we tried cases over and over and over again. And with this federal judge in the West Virginia, he pulled me aside and said, "Honey, if you don't become a trial lawyer for a living, I'm going to hunt you down and kill you."
Right.
So, I know what I'm doing, but haven't had to actually do it. I've taken all kinds of depositions and everything up to that point, but the litigation system is designed to get cases to settle. That's why you have discovery and motions and all that kind of stuff. So 99% of the time, cases are going to settle.
Well, my question is, have you ever? So you've never had a CPO then, right? Was this your first? This was your first CPO?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
And I told you guys that.
Oh, what you what?
I told you guys that in the beginning.
Right. Okay. Well, wow. If you had taken, I sure wanted to go to trial. I wish I could have been your first trial. You would have had fun, I'm sure, with all the evidence I had. So I sure wish we had gone to trial. That's part of my issue right now, Tim.
Right.
That's what I'm really concerned about. I mean, I feel like if I had just gone to trial and put on record what Greg Slade had done, because I know earlier on when you were involved with the case, you said that that you were going to base the case on his character, and that we had a great shot. Because of the evidence that we had, and you were going to, build it on his character and expose him in that way. So it was pretty exciting at that time.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, from me and Matt's perspective, we always want to go to trial because we want to get that experience. We want to go to trial, and that's how when you're a kid growing up and you want to be a lawyer, you don't think, I'm going to settle cases.
Right.
You're going to try cases, and I know that Matt and I are both actually very good at it.
And speaking of Matt, is there any way I could talk to Matt? Is there any way I could talk to Matt?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Because one of the things I was really concerned about is that I know I went over your invoice and everything, and I know in some of your emails you indicated some things, but one of the things I want you to know, Tim, is that I would have been willing to pay for $23,000 is what you were are asking for, $25,000, had I felt like I had gotten the things that you promised me. And a couple of those things were that I would be able to keep my pages, which I didn't, and not only to keep my pages, but that was the main goal, was that I get to keep my pages and that I got to get on record what Greg Slade had done, and I didn't get any of that. In fact, I don't even have my webpage, and I'm really right now. I'm not. If I were to put that page up, it's not my First Amendment right. It's like you can go to Pacer documents. You can go online and get the court documents. That's not. So my First Amendment right. I have really been gagged. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, can we do this side? Because I want to make sure I understand exactly what the concerns are and what your kind of position is on the bill.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're asking for.
Yeah, I want to understand. I just want to understand what it is so we can talk about. Okay, where are we? What are your concerns? What do you want?
Okay.
And then how can we figure out how to address, what's going on? So I think the first thing, I don't have the bills right in front of me, but I think it's like 13,000 something.
Yeah, but
outstanding, is that right?
Well, I think you're asking for $13,000, which will tally the bill to like $24,000, which you indicated you did $50,000, and you did another $25,000 in pro bono work. $25,000 in pro bono work, and you were paid $11,000, and you're asking for another $13,000. Now, in an email that we have, you because we told you what we did.
Can I just interrupt you real quick?
Sure.
I want to, because we can go back and talk about who sent what email and who agreed to what. I don't want to do that because we can both talk ourselves through it. What we thought happened and what we thought was that how we interpreted. Yeah. But I want to understand is your position right now, you don't want to pay anything else, or you would agree to pay 5, or you would agree to pay 3, or you would agree to pay 10? Like, what's your position? Are you asking me to write off the rest of the bill? Like, what's your position?
Well, my position is I feel like I don't owe you any more money. That's my position. I feel like I don't owe you any more money because I didn't get anything that you promised me. And I really feel like you pressured me into taking this case. I feel like you, at the very end, you begged me to take this case and to do you a favor. And I really have a problem with that right now, because we told you we wanted to go to trial. And I felt like you pressured me not to.